Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, obedient family. Welcome to another exciting episode of ObiDatti Update on ObiDatti Family TV. I am Jamie the Joy, and with me is King Kang.
Thank you so much, Joy. It's an amazing morning right here, and this is ObiDatti Update, the show where we keep you updated on the campaign train and how Mr. Peter Obi is moving and his acceptability in new territories that people believed that he wasn't going to get votes from, and that's the essence of the show, to keep you updated on the Peter Obi campaign. Okay, so right now we have some wonderful guests on the show with us today. So before we get into some of the stories that we already have back here, we're going to be speaking with our guests who are already on standby. But before we introduce our guests, let's just go on a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party, LP, can you get a vote? Labour Party, Labour Party, LP, can you get a vote? Labour Party, Labour Party, never say, Mama, Papa, no one to be Labour Party, Mama, Papa, no one, never say, Mama, Papa, no one to be Labour Party, Mama, Papa, no one to be Labour Party.
Mr. Peter Obi's administration built from scratch Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University Teaching Hospital with 25 building structures. His government funded transformation of massive infrastructural development, accreditation of 12 health institutions and 2 hospitals, and also built 10 maternal and childcare centers across the state. He is the first governor to purchase medical equipment worth over 135 million naira and 50 ambulances for the health sector in Anambra State, which remain functional till today. He built and equipped Dr. Jonwilo Heart Center in St. Joseph Hospital, Adazinnuku, where heart operations are performed. Anambra State is the first state in Nigeria to distribute more than 30,000 computers to secondary schools. Mr. Peter Obi distributed about 700 buses to secondary schools in Anambra State.
Okay, welcome back to ObiDatti Family Television. This is ObiDatti Update. So quickly, I told you when we get back, we'll be introducing our guests to you, and we'll be speaking with them, and they'll be updating us on definitely how the whole obedient movement and the campaign is moving on in their area. The first guest I have on the show today is Mr. Zari Yusuf, who is a media consultant and also a grassroots mobilizer for the Peter Obi ambition, and he is also one of the spokespersons for Big Tent. That is the Obi Independent Campaign Council that is widely known as Big Tent. Good morning, Mr. Zari.
Yeah, good morning, and thanks to be here.
Okay, so Mrs. Zari, thank you so much for joining us this amazing one. Right now, we want to a grassroots mobilizer for Mr. Peter Obi, and you have obviously reaching down to the grassroots, send the Obi message to them. How has the acceptance been?
Well, first and foremost, I would want to say that if Peter Obi was a product, then he was the easiest to sell to people, because most of what you would have done for anybody to be acceptable by people, somehow the harsh experiences of the past 7 to 8 years has brought people to a point where I think I overheard somebody saying the fact that we are not in a civil war is just fair enough on the politicians. So it's a situation where we have all kinds of people that have presented themselves, regardless how surrounded they are, with the smartest people to make manifestos. And then there is somebody that once he speaks, he tends to connect directly with the needs of the masses, regardless their backgrounds, regional, ethnic, religious and all of that. Now, when you head out to a particular place and you hear people speaking, people telling you what they need, frankly speaking, like it or not, the next thing that comes to your mind as a solution is Peter Obi. So it makes it a whole lot easier. He's got his manifesto broken down. He has his track record in Anambra State. I'm talking about track record of people who will tell you things that directly translate in the lives of the masses. Developments you see on the streets, developments you meet a woman frying akara and she will tell you, this is how this has affected me. I don't know if I'm audible enough. So now, talking about, getting to reach the grassroots with the message of Peter Obi, what is the grassroots in Nigeria? The grassroots is oppressed. The grassroots is divided. The grassroots is hungry. The grassroots is frustrated. And what is his message? He is setting the oppressed free. He is bridging that division. And, we've never been divided so much in the line of ethnicity and religion and all of that. And basically all he stands for is to unite. So for the first time in the country, after a long time, we have a candidate that has this massive level of acceptance among the clerics, among traditional rulers, among the masses, across all divides. So once you meet with people, basically, Peter Obi stands as the product that directly meets, their needs, regardless who they are, and all of that. So it's quite an easy thing to get him across to the masses. It hasn't actually been a difficult or a tough sell.
It's widespread that Mr. Peter Obi, no more, it was a claim by the opposition party that Mr. Peter Obi would never get acceptance in the North and would not get votes in the North. And this is coming from a few months back. I'm speaking less than 5 months ago, even before the campaign started. We've been seeing massive turnouts in campaign venues. Just yesterday, he was in Sokoto, before in Berlin. He's also been to DC in Jigawa, Adamawa as well. And it's on and on of 11 northern states that he's been to, and he's seen widespread support and the population gather for him at the campaign ground. The percentage is actually very high, showing that Labour Party is one of those parties that don't to put in investment to make people gather at campaign grounds. So what should give us an insight on that? The voting population there in the North, how has it for them supporting Peter Obi? Is the acceptance growing, or has it always just been there and needed activation?
Well, Peter Obi's, acceptance in the North goes in defiance of a certain tradition. The tradition is that the North has this kind of block voting mentality, and there are certain places that unless you are accepted in those places, you do not win. But the North has turned out to now be united by a certain purpose other than the manipulations of the political class. Look, Peter Obi goes to places where certain politicians of Northern extraction, those who have even employed religion and ethnicity, can actually not dare go, even in the North. I want to ask any one of them, go to any refugee camp in Borno, go to Southern Borno, go to Adamawa, go to those enclaves that Peter Obi goes and walks on the streets and shake hands with people. Believe you me, they would need security to take them out of that place. So it is not just a hype. The major problem he has, Peter Obi, I'm talking about, with the so-called elites in the North, is simple. Now, it's not exactly as if he gathers a crowd that outnumber the crowd that others gather. No. The problem is when you see 10,000 people behind Obi, they are not rented. There are people who suspended their business to follow him. That is where the problem comes. So we know rallies where you see tens of thousands of people, and we know at the end of the day it's 1,000, 1,500, 300, 3,000, and all of that. Unfortunately, in Peter Obi's case, any number of people you see, people that have set out to meet with him. Now, when you see that, it simply means these are people who will cast their votes. So they are not just people showing up for the optics. Now, that's a problem for a lot of people. And I said, Peter Obi has defied the tradition. So it's not exactly as if you go to Kano today and you say, it is all A, it is all B, it is all C. No. There is a certain thing that has now rallied the masses in the north together, regardless of their divides, which is the suffering, which is the insecurity, which is all of the evil. And I want to assure you the only person that is sincere enough that the northerner finds appealing is Peter Obi. You can take this to the bank any day, any time.
Let me drag words from you now. You already spoke about unity of Nigerians being the plights that they have faced in recent times. They face the plight of insecurity, they face the plight of disunity, and a lot of things. But now, taken from the manifesto, all of this were mentioned, a couple of things, and even much more was mentioned in the manifesto. But the question is straightforward. What item of the manifesto has been the easiest to market to the people about Mr. Peter Obi? Is it personality, or could it be the change in insecurity? What exactly has been the particular you've been telling people that to market Mr. Peter Obi to them there in the north?
Well, the first thing is his approach. I know a lot of people disturbed him a lot about security because they needed him to spell out in specific, what measures he will take. But in a general sense, he has given a certain approach that most other people haven't seen. And he has spoken about first defining what the problem is and knowing exactly who we are dealing with. We're in a situation where people talk about insecurity, extend amnesty, do this and do this and do this. But nobody is coming out to tell you, I am behind this. Sorry to make this example. Mazi Namdi is in jail. Mazi Namdi has been arrested. So think about maybe IPOP and all of that. Okay, you could say there is a head in the person of Mazi, Namdi Kanu and all of that. Well, come to ISWAP, come to Boko Haram. Of course, Shekau has been killed, but there is a growing level of insecurity. And what he has said in particular that I think is easy to sell is that let us identify the head of this thing, because a lot of people are saying, are you coming to bombard them? Are you going to talk to them? What means are you going to communicate with them? And he has said it time and again, I want to know who you are, and I want to know what you stand for, and I want to listen to you. Now, that is a very clear signal to it, because once a problem has been identified, which basically is the problem of this administration, the insincerity in defining what the issue is, the insincerity in identifying who is actually behind this and all of that. And so that is basically one particular cell. And then I think the other one I would say that has made him easy to sell to people is not just his attempt to move the economy from consumption to production, but what he intends to do with, the civil service, which is quite key. When you talk about the UK, I think there was a meeting, I think I was present, Professor Pat, who told me, gave a breakdown of that with Ambassador Joe Keshi, where they talked about it. An example is in the UK, there are just about 60 million people, but with 6 million civil service working strength. In Nigeria, we are over 200 million. I mean, how many civil servants do we have? So that's talking about numbers. And two, when you talk about employing people, you equally talk about employing the best. You go to places where only the best end up in the civil service. You get the idea. So you pull the best from private sector, you pull the best from different aspects of the economy, and you flood the civil service. And then he has made the civil service the primary channel of implementing his manifesto. So that has made it easy to, sell to people, especially in states that are predominantly, the strength of the states, the civil service, like Kaduna State, like Plateau State. I mean, these are two states that when you talk about civil service, and Kano also is that. And so once you are able to break through that and give them that understanding, and there is equally room for development and then pulling in the best into it, that has actually made it an easy sell. And also the part of uniting. So particularly I will mention on these two very items, it's been quite easy to sell him among the elites and then, the masses, regardless level of education.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Yusuf. A very quick one.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course, we all know that the election is fast approaching. In less than 23 days, this country will be going into a general election. But I want to know, what is your faith concerning the election?
Well, there have been a whole lot of things which I will not be afraid to share to you here. First and most importantly is the issue of voter card, primarily, because we've gotten to a point where a lot of our energy now is focused on making sure, especially the newly registered voters, get their cards. So are we being frustrated? What exactly is happening? Is it just the normal logistic issues? So there is that concern, looking at the fact that graciously INEC has extended. So, but then we're looking, could it be some kind of manipulation to force us to ask for a push in the election date, to say, let's move it forward, which we are definitely not going to do. And we are definitely going to resist if INEC wants to do that. And thank God the chairman has made it clear that we are going ahead regardless that. Now, the other basic concern is security. And I would give kudos to the Nigerian military, because cracking down 100 criminals in Lagos is not an easy thing. Quite frankly, with the unfolding of a lot of things, an example is somebody would come and label about 221,000 people as the Jagaban Army. Just a couple of weeks after the presidential candidate of the APC talks about, we are getting power by force, we are snatching, we are taking, that is how power is taken and all of that. Now, that raises a whole lot of concerns with regards to security. We will not be naive to claim that we don't know that as the days draw near, the chances of my principal, Peter Obi, increases exponentially of getting to Aso Rock and becoming our president. And we know there are a whole lot of forces, especially those that have their hands directly in the treasury of the government presently, or the state governments at different levels. They are doing everything possible. And while, of course, it is hard on the masses, and then a lot of people may want to capitalize on it and say it will make logistics difficult during the elections, the currency policy that Emefiele has brought in will do a whole lot, will make politicians to work hard. So when I come to you, I should be able to tell you what I want to do, and not just come with 10,000, a wrapper, a bag of salt and Maggi and just give you. So that's quite important. And I just want to state finally that let me quickly ask you. There's also been claims from the opposition party, not just the opposition party, but a lot of concerned Nigerians, that it's been very difficult for some people, especially in some areas like in the hinterlands, in different parts of Nigeria, that people have not been able to get acclimatized with the Labour Party logo, and that Mr. Peter Obi is the LP candidate. How is the Big Tent and also you as a grassroots mobilizer, how have you been able to handle that situation, and how are you getting people to be acclimatized with the logo? Okay, yes. So primarily, the Big Tent and a whole lot of private individuals, home and abroad, have engaged in massive campaigns in that regard. We do a whole lot of videos. We flood, the social media with it, the mainstream media, And then we have a lot of grassroots. And I want to assure you that of all of the parties, that have fielded candidates for the presidential election, none has the grassroots base of Labour Party. So at the grassroots, a whole lot is going on with conscientizing people about one, the logo of the party itself, two, how the ballot will look, with sample ballots and all of that. And when you go around doing grassroots, you realize it's only, and I say it, I dare you to challenge me any day. It's only Labour Party that has engaged in that kind of campaign at the grassroots. Go anywhere where there are campaigns where you see 10, 20 people gathered and they are being enlightened about how the elections will be, why they need to get their cards, how they should conduct themselves. You realize it is the grassroots mobilizers of Labour Party that are doing it. So we are doing a whole lot in that regard. Even though we wouldn't say it is enough, we will still do more, but we are doing a whole lot. We are actually heading at the grassroots. And, that's what I'd say. And every decision we take, that's one difference from Labour Party, comes from in-depth research. We didn't just begin by saying, okay, this is how the logo of Labour Party is. No, there are parties that go in-depth to do research, and we are furnished with that. We do our own research, and then we follow that pattern in doing our campaign, especially with regards to the logo itself. We realized out of 100 people that say, I'm voting Peter Obi, and then you say to them, are you voting Labour Party? You may have about 30 to 35% that will say, no, we are not doing Labour, we are doing Peter Obi. And so we realize there is that small margin where we have to capitalize on, and we haven't taken it for granted. We are doing a whole lot in that regard. So we are bridging that maybe 20, 25% issues with the difference of who Peter Obi is and what Labour Party is and what their logo is. So I will give ourselves kudos in that regard. We are doing a whole lot. Yeah.
Okay, I wish we could draw into this conversation, Zari. It's been a very insightful one, and I'm sure you have a lot more to say to us. But please, we need to have you back some other time because we're already out of time today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Whenever it's possible, please, we want to have you back and discuss further on Mr. Peter Obi's ambition and what the party needs to take Aso Rock in 2023 and give it back to Nigerians.
Yes, thank you so much. And I will just say before I leave that the only candidate that doesn't have a problem with the CBN policy is our principal. And I think that is something tangible. That is something that means a whole lot. I mean, so think about that too. And actually, we are taking Aso Rock. It's ours. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's ObiDatti Family Television. We're going to go on a quick break. And we'll get back. We'll be speaking with our second guest on the show today. Please do not move away. A number of a muscle. Just keep your eyes steady on your screen. We'll be right back.
Blocks. He donated the sum of 300 million naira to Anglican churches and 440 million naira to Roman Catholic churches to rehabilitate their missionary schools. During his tenure, he gave 1 million naira each to more than 160 first-class graduates. To promote the reading culture in the state, he went ahead to build a well-equipped library known as Prof. Kennedy DK Library, Oka. He also rehabilitated the divisional library in Onitsha and gave 500,000 naira to each secondary school in the state to provide library materials. This boosted the student performance from the 26th position in Nigeria to the first position. The security improvement was exceptional as he provided security vehicles to 177 communities in the state. He cleared pension and gratuity owed since 1990 to the tune of about 37 billion naira and also paid monthly stipends to the elderly in the state. Mr. Peter Obi built the first secretariat complex in Anambra State to house the various Anambra State government ministries that were scattered all over the state. His good governance attracted the second largest brewery in the world, known as Sab Miller, to build their first greenfield facility in the state. He was recognized by the Millennium Development Goals (MDG) as the best governor in the implementation of their programs in Nigeria. Peter Obi constructed 2 bridges across the popular Agulu Lake in Anyocha local government area of Anambra State at the cost of 2 billion naira. He funded Agulu Lake Hotel Project, Golden Tulip, and reconstruction of Opaiweka bridges at the axis of Enugu-Onitsha Expressway with 6 lanes. Peter Obi constructed 800 km of road network between rural and urban areas. Some of the roads include Ibariam Internal Road, Ekulobia Ezinifite Road, Niger Drive Onitsha, Ifite Dunu Road, construction of Zik Avenue and Mpo Flyover, 30 verifiable bridges, Ezu Ebenebe Bridge, Oka North, Isu Anyocha Bridge, Opaka River Bridge, pedestrian bridge at permanent site Unizik Junction, Oka. He created industrial parks as catalysts for industrialization. He constructed and commissioned the Governor's Lodge at Annex Onitsha, FMR Customary Court of Appeal Complex, High Court buildings at Nnewi and Ogidi, Judges' Quarters at Onitsha. His visionary leadership brought unprecedented transformation to the local government in Anambra State. He made provision for 1.2 billion naira credit facilities to farmers in the state and cleared a 20 million naira debt owed banks as a result of the 2012 flood devastation. Peter Obi's administration purchased 90 buses and taxis for Anis Mass Transit Company. He adopted the best practice in waste disposal and provided over 300 million naira worth of waste evacuation trucks. The Debt Management Office rated Anambra as the least indebted state in Nigeria. Mr. Peter Obi handed 75 billion naira to his successor, Mr. Willie Obiano. The credibility and reputation of Peter Obi as a competent visionary leader in public service governance and management of state resources remains undisputable.
Came about. Okay, welcome back to ObiDatti Family Television, and this is ObiDatti Update. Right here, still King Kamsi and Joy here, and together we make the duo that bring the updates to you. So quickly, let's get back. We'll be talking to our second guest on the show today, and that is no other than Abdulrazak Umar, who is an up-north ambassador, coordinator for Jigawa State, and he's joining us all the way from Jigawa State. Good evening, Mr. Abdulrazak.
Thank you for having me once again. I'm Abdulrazak Umar, of North Ambassadors, coordinator Jigawa State.
Okay, so
first of all,
Mr. Abdulrazak, just quickly let us into some of the activities North Ambassador in Jigawa State is related to grassroots mobilization for Mr. Peter Obi. Please just let us in on some of the activities.
First of all, let me start by sending our condolence message to the Jigawa State people over the demise of our father, His Royal Highness, Dr. Nuhu Muhammad Sanusi Emir of Duse, who died 2 days ago. It's really sudden. We are sympathizing, and we also extending our condolences to the people of Jigawa State and to the Emirate in particular. Regarding our activities in Jigawa State, especially grassroots mobilization, very obvious that of North Ambassadors is one of the support groups that have been working at the grassroots level to reach out to the voters in the area of voters education, mobilization, and sensitization for our principal, Peter Obi. That's what we have been doing. We had a lot of programs, and we have been executing a lot of programs to promote our principal in our state.
Okay, let me also share in the condolence that you already stated. Mr. Lucy was a very respected leader and father at the whole of Luxu. So heart goes out to everybody in Duce who is at this time mourning the death of a hero and a leader. But so quickly looking at Jigawa and its very distinct nature, and it was known as a very politically active state. Jigawa state is one state that's politically really to set out and built personally. So tell us how the candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has been accepted in Jigawa. Is the acceptance widely spread? Because we saw his visits recently to say, and we saw the show every off there. It's as we saw in the video. It's to it.
Well, the acceptance and the support actually is massive. Few days before the party rally, presidential campaign rally we had on 30th of January, of course we had a series of discussion, some parents of our gubernatorial candidate come to APC party. This candidate was actually received by APC presidential candidate, and he made a statement in which he said Labour Party structure has been collapsed and dissolved. Of course, their deflection has actually shaken us. Our structure. Let me state very clear. Our structure is intact, and this our state gubernatorial candidate has also.
Razak, sorry, Razak. Sorry to cut into your speech ban, but I think the network from your network reception is kind of poor, so we're not getting your audio, better. It's kind of low.
Pardon?
Your audio is kind of low, so we couldn't hear you clearly then. But you could move ahead now. I think it's a bit better now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, it's much better now. It's much better now.
What I was saying is regarding the acceptance, the Peter Obi is actually accepted here in Jigawa State. We can see that in our campaign rally, whereby the crowd was massive. Let me brief on what actually happened during the presidential campaign rally. The campaign rally was actually divided into one. We had a town hall meeting with the presidential candidate, and the current event was the rally which took place at the venue. The town hall meeting, our presidential candidate hosted a town hall meeting with the Jigawa State students, where he speaks to them directly, and address some of the developing, the education sector, and answer some of the questions raised by the students. And he promised them that he's going to resolve the issue of ASU strikes once elected. On the other hand, the wife of the presidential candidate, Mrs. Margaret Peter Obi, also hosts a town hall meeting with women in the state, and them directly regarding the issue of women. So this is the town hall meeting, and immediately after the town hall meeting, we all converged temporarily, where some of the speakers, the party chairman, and the presidential candidate to the crowd. And Peter Obi, one interesting thing about his address, he spoke so well about the Jigawa State's vast land. He promised that he is going to convert this vast land to the family land, because Jigawa is opportune, to have, a lot of, agricultural products to produce. But unfortunately, this government, did not utilize what, is supposed to be utilized. We, as a state, that we can, cultivate wheat, we can cultivate rice, we can cultivate a lot of, agricultural products, but all of them are wastage due to the lack of, proper utilization. So our presidential candidates made it very, very clear that if given opportunity, he's going to convert this vast land into family land, so that our people will get job, so that our people will, we get, our people will get, the income, so that they can improve their survival needs. So this is what I actually like in his address, and people were impressed. In fact, the rally was very, very massive. The rally was very, very massive.
Abdulrazak, thank you so much. There's a lot to say when it comes to Mr. Peter, because definitely he's one of the easiest politicians ever to market to the people. And Nigerians are tired. Every Nigerian wants better Nigeria, and I believe that is the reason why a lot of people are still rallying around him. And for wonderful ambassadors like the popular ambassador, which are a very essential part of there in Jigawa State, are the wonderful people sending the message to the grassroots, but also sending the message to the grassroots. Little challenges that you're faced with there in Jigawa State. Could you share some of them with those challenges that you're facing when you're trying to pass the message of Peter Obi to the people there in Jigawa State?
The message I wanted to pass people to Jigawa State, that they should rally behind our candidates. And, as you said, people are tired. People are tired of this government. People are tired, with the promises without killing some promises. So I want to, assure our people that please, let's try Labour Party. Let's try our party that has manifestations, in solving Nigerian problems. We are the country that got created with the diversity. Let's not talk about religion. Let's not talk about ethnicity. This doesn't matter. You understand? Because we all buy from the same markets. We all suffer together. So if somebody come and improve our lives, we are going to enjoy it together. So at this juncture, I played with our people. Please come 23 February and vote Labour Party, our candidate Peter Obi. Let them rest assured that their life improved. Peter Obi is a man of character. Is a man of competency. Peter Obi did it in Anambra State. He has a very, very good financial discipline. I believe he can do better in the economic sector. I believe he can do better in educational sector. We have seen what he did in Anambra State by uplifting the state from the bottom ranking to the high ranking. And part of the challenges we are actually facing, this is a state that is by the APC. We actually, need some mobilizations, some kind of support, in order to have other people join us in this campaign that we have been doing. But as I said earlier, accepted by people in our states.
Okay, Abdulrazak, thank you so much. It's actually, there's so much to say about Mr. Peter Obi, and I'm sure the political nature of Jigawa is rising, and people are rolling around Mr. Peter Obi because of wonderful people like yourself sending the message of hope and the message of Mr. Peter Obi to these people who need to hear the message of Mr. Peter Obi. Thank you so much for one of our programs for today. So thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Razak. Thank you. Thank you so much. And please send a message, a wonderful message to the people of Jigawa. And once again, our condolences to the people of Jigawa, and especially the people of Duse for Emir Sanusi, who are sincerely moved and join in the sorrow at this time. So please take heart. Thank you so much for joining us. See you on ObiDatti Family Television, and let's go on a quick break. When we get back, we'll be running on the show.
On election day, we share a few tips with you. So 1, show up early at your polling unit on election day. If you show up early, it's one way to stop election rigging because it gives you an opportunity to observe every activity at your polling unit. Now, this will enable you cross-check the following sensitive materials. You've got to shine your eyes and ensure that these materials are available at your polling unit. 1 is the ballot papers, 2, result sheets, 3, the BVAS device. Now, before accreditation and voting begins, ensure you verify that the BVAS has 0 figure for accreditation. Next, after accreditation and voting, remain at the polling unit to watch the process until ballot papers are counted. Closely monitor the ballot counting process and ensure the results are recorded on the original form, and it's the form EC8A for the polling unit. Then you need to ensure the INEC official takes a photo of the authentic results for that polling unit using the BVAS only. Only the BVAS should be used to take image of the result sheet. Now, once the photo of the result sheet is taken, closely watch to ensure the INEC official uploads the results on the INEC election results viewing portal using the BVAS. Now, where there is no network to transmit the results at the polling unit, we encourage you to accompany the INEC official with
ObiDatti Family Television right here, and the program is ObiDatti Updates with myself, King MC, and the most beautiful and delectable Joy Jimade.
Welcome guys back.
Okay, so that was a very intense, I must say, conversation with Mr. Abdulrazak Omar, who is an up-north ambassador out there in Jigawa State, Duse precisely. And speaking about Duse, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, our principal, Mr. Peter Obi, already shared condolences with the people of Duse concerning the death of their King, His Royal Highness Alhaji Mohammed Nuhu Sanusi II, who is the third Emir, or who was rather the third Emir of Duse. He passed away recently, and Mr. Peter Obi had to share condolences with the people of Duse, and even from ourselves in studio, we're sharing the condolences as well with the people of Duse, saying that we at this time mourn with you, and we hope that the Lord grants you the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss.
Yesterday, Peter Obi was at a rally in Sokoto, and it was a warm reception, like always, an organic crowd, and a mama's one for the matter.
You know, it's really amazing how for every time we come on the updates, we're mentioning northern states, and it's always a mammoth crowd, amazing crowd that follows. These are the places that they said he wouldn't get crowd. And
Exactly.
it's just amazing how for every time we've never reported a low turnout. It's always crowd, and definitely we believe that all that crowd will go and do the polling on the day of election, and definitely grant Mr. Peter Obi access into the Aso Rock so he can give Nigerians back their country, a country that they will be proud of, a country that they could raise their head high, beat their chest, and with their voices loud and say, I am Nigerian.
Exactly.
So, guys, we've run out of time on the show. There's still a whole lot to look into, but because of time, we have to bounce. So, from myself,
enjoy. Call it a day.
We call it a day. So, thank you so much for joining us. And make sure that you go and get your PVC. The PVC collection ends on Sunday. It ends on Sunday. So please do yourselves, do Nigerians, do your neighbors, do the continent a favor and be part of the process of electing a competent, capable, and amazing leader for Nigeria. Please make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms at ObiDatti Family Television, and you could also hit us on WhatsApp. WhatsApp number is displaying on the screen right now. Please, if you belong to one of the support groups, or you own a support group that's sending the message of Mr. Peter B, or maybe you're an independent supporter and you're also speaking to people and sending the message to people, we would love to hear from you right here. Please just reach out to us. We want to talk with you. Thank you so much from myself and Joy and the entire crew behind the scene that you never get to see. Thank you so much. Please keep it on right here on ObiDatti Family Television. More shows to meet your airwaves.